Hello, my friends. Hello. Thank you so much for coming to spend part of your Sunday, September 15th, 2024 with me. Sorry about your Patriots, truly. But the Jets won, so there's that. Coming to you today with a horrific story out of the Massachusetts State Police Academy. Many of you know about this story already. And we are outraged once again. What is it with the MSP and why can't they stay out of the news? Every day, something new is happening and it's horrific. And Friday afternoon, we were covering the Boulder mass shooting trial, which for some reason, nobody seems to know about. It's a horrific case out of Boulder, Colorado, which is my alma mater. I went to CU Boulder undergrads, go Buffs. We beat CSU last night in a great game. And I loved Boulder so much. I stayed there to go to law school and I went to DU Law. And as we were finishing up our trial coverage for the day, somebody said, "Oh, Sean is live." So I teleported everyone over to Sean McDonough's stream. His channel is Going Through the Motions, if you've not heard of it. And as we jumped over to that stream and did our cupcake invasion, as we like to do, one of my viewers graciously gifted a whole bunch of memberships, and I received a membership. So I was thrilled last night when Sean did a members only, and I jumped on it. And he was verklempt. I've never seen Sean so emotional about a story before as I have about this story. And if you don't know about this story, it is going to perhaps shock you and sadden you. And it's outrageous that they're playing this off as some sort of training exercise. Enrique Delgado-Garcia was 25 years old when he entered the police academy to become a Massachusetts State Police trooper in April. It was his dream to become a state trooper. That's what he wanted to do. And he was scheduled to graduate with, I think it was something like the 90th class of recruits on October 9th. Well, on Thursday, apparently, something happened at the police academy during his training, and he was brought to the hospital by, I guess, the personnel at the MSP Police Academy. The original reporting said that Enrique became unresponsive in the boxing ring during a defensive tactics training exercise at the State Police Academy on Thursday, which was September 12th. That's what law enforcement sources told WCVB. They went on to report that the Academy's on-site medical team immediately rendered aid and transported the recruit to UMass Memorial Medical Center in Worcester. Police spokesman Tim McGurk said, quote, "Despite the heroic efforts of medical professionals to deliver life-saving care, trainee Delgado-Garcia died at the hospital. He died 24 hours after he was brought in. He had entered the 90th recruit training troop in April and was scheduled to graduate on October 9th. Massachusetts State Police administered the oath of office in Enrique's final hours of life on Friday night, said McGurk. He was surrounded by family, loved ones, and classmates during the bilingual ceremony, which culminated in him being pinned with his trooper badge. We're going to talk about it. Sean McDonough, Our friend has been in touch with the family, and he's got a lot to say. I see what you're saying about JC in the chat. And today, usually I don't allow her to be spoken about. JC is more like the Antichrist, if you ask me, because what she has been tweeting is outrageous. She has reached out to the family asking for if she can help, asking if they have any documents that they can share with her. Prayers up for Enrique's family. They deserve to know the truth about what happened to him. They deserve to know whether this was an accident or whether this is something that is being covered up, which seems to be happening quite regularly in that organization. And it's outrageous. I'm going to play for you, if you're not familiar with this case. It seems that CBS Boston was the first to break this story. So I have a couple of news clips for you. Just so that you can see what the initial reporting was on this case. And you can tell me what you think about it. This was the breaking news. I think this was on Thursday, the day of WBZ News, CBS Boston.
We begin at 6 with an I-Team exclusive. Breaking news about a serious incident at the Massachusetts State Police Academy. Thanks for staying with us tonight. I'm Lisa Hughes.
And I'm David Wade. Let's get right over to our chief investigative reporter, Cheryl Fiandaca, who has the latest. Cheryl?
State police recruit is fighting for their life tonight. This happened just moments ago. I-Team sources say a state police trooper trainee was seriously injured during a boxing training exercise. Sources tell the I-Team the recruit was knocked out for nearly 10 minutes after getting hit in the head. That recruit was taken to Worcester Memorial Hospital in critical condition. Now, boxing is part of physical training at the Massachusetts State Police Academy in New Braintree. The recruits box each other in a real boxing ring. According to the state police website, the recruits in training attend a 25-week modified stress live-in academy with 90 different courses of instruction. This most recent class started in April and is called the 90th RTT. We reached out to the Mass State Police and the union for comment, but did not immediately hear back. Lisa, David?
And we know you'll.
As far as I know, the Massachusetts State Police have not yet issued a statement, although your governor did issue a statement. We're going to take a look at that in a moment. But I wanted to show you, that was the day of. And this is from the next day, if I can find my stuff in order. This is from the next day. This is also WBZ.
Now to look at some of the top stories we're following today on WBZ News, starting at 5 o'clock.
I'm Tiffany Chan in Attleboro. The Massachusetts State Police confirming with us that a trainee was injured and found unresponsive during one of the training exercises at their academy in New Braintree. The I-Team first brought you this yesterday with some details about those injuries. I speak with the former Massachusetts State Police Academy defensive coordinator who talks about why boxing, which is that activity that they were training on, why boxing is involved in the state police training, the skills that they learn from that, and what this former trainer thinks about what happened yesterday. I'm going to have that story on WBZ.
This is Paul Burton inside the Pro Shop at Gillette Stadium, where the excitement is built.
It was just a little piece, and they went on to.
The recruit injured during what's called a defensive tactics training exercise at the State Police Academy in New Braintree. This happened yesterday. State police say he became unresponsive and was taken to a hospital.
It's difficult to see this happen. It's a tragedy.
Law enforcement and security analyst Todd McGee ran.
This is Todd McGee. I'm going to take us back to the beginning because it didn't start right at the beginning. Todd McGee, you've seen him as a talking head on many, many news channels and many, many YouTube channels as well.
The recruit injured during what's called a defensive tactics training exercise at the State Police Academy in New Braintree. This happened yesterday. State police say he became unresponsive and was taken to a hospital.
It's difficult to see this happen. It's a tragedy.
Law enforcement and security analyst Todd McGee ran the State Police Defensive Tactics program in the late 90s. He says before he stepped into the role, the boxing program had been put on hold because of injuries. He brought it back with new safety protocols.
As we reinstated it, the caveat was that we're going to have protections in place and controls in place, such as 16-ounce gloves, headgear, mouth protection, groin protection, that the recruits would be evenly matched.
This latest class started in April. The State Police website says recruits attend a 25-week modified stress live-in academy consisting of over 90 different courses of instruction. In addition to recruit training, the academy hosts in-service training, training courses, and the student trooper program. McGee says the defensive tactics training program included 40 to 50 hours of training and also included the use of force, like using a baton, pepper spray, or handcuffs.
That's the protocol. That's the objective, is to keep people safe. It's unfortunate. Injuries do happen during training. We've seen this in the past, but to this nature, it's very, very rare.
Or to this extent, he should have said.
Now, state police did not have an official statement on what happened. I did reach out to the governor's office, and she referred me back to the state police. We're live here in New Braintree. Sharmitz Kitty, WCVB News Center.
We begin with that breaking news.
Okay, and this was from, this is when the family starts to speak out. This is from the 13th of September, and this is NBC 10 Boston.
The family of a Massachusetts State Police recruit injured during his training confirms he has died in a hospital in Worcester. They are sharing this photo of him tonight. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jason.
Apparently, the family had to decide whether to take him off life support, and that decision was made 24 hours after his admission to the hospital. Thank you. Thanks, Lamasuz. I'll take a look. Thank you.
Monahan.
And I'm Colton Bradford in for Corey Smith. That trainee you just saw was injured during a training exercise at the Academy in New Braintree. We're hearing from those who knew that recruit tonight. NBC 10's Jericho Tran joins us live from Worcester. She has the very latest on this tragic story. Jericho.
Colton, JC, that recruit's name is Enrique Delgado-Garcia. I spoke with his family moments after they learned about his death. They tell me there is no settlement, no amount of money that can make this right. They just want Delgado back.
A smiling face gone far too soon.
Now my cousin is dead. We're broken. That's basically
devastated. Family members tell me becoming a Massachusetts state trooper was Delgado's dream.
You would have been the best state police officer there. I feel like that's why what happened to you, and it sucks.
They were told the 25-year-old was injured during a boxing exercise at the Massachusetts State Police Academy in New Braintree on Thursday. But family members have their doubts.
All I know is this: my cousin is dead, and something has to happen.
They say Delgado's injuries are not consistent with what he would have sustained during a training exercise. They say he had missing teeth, his neck was broken, brain injury, and contusions all over his body.
I spoke to them.
Missing teeth, fractured vertebrae, broken neck, contusions all over his body, and there may have been a fractured leg as well.
Yesterday, when I first showed up, I asked him what happened. The guy told me, I don't know, I wasn't there, but it was an accident. So if you don't know, then why are you saying that it was an accident?
A lot of questions and a lot of grief right now. Delgado was training for 3 months. He was supposed to graduate in just 2 weeks. We reached out to the Massachusetts State Police after speaking with the family, and we've still not heard back. In the meantime, the Worcester County DA is investigating this. We're told that Delgado was a former employee at the DA's office. In Worcester, Jericho Tran, NBC 10 Boston.
Jericho, thank you. Let's stay on this for just a moment because that trainee was part of the 90th recruit training troop. And when the NBC 10 Boston investigators looked into the previous slate of trooping trainees, they found a shocking number of those trainees were dropping out. Department data that we obtained showed overall 46% of trainees who had signed up dropped out just weeks into training. Half of the female recruits and 45% of the males resigned. The top 3 reasons trainees left the academy were dealing with a medical condition or an injury, feeling unprepared physically or mentally, and viewing it as a wrong career choice. You can actually find that full report from our investigators on our website at nbctimboston.com or, of course, on our free mobile app.
Tonight, troopers are mourning.
Give me 1 second. Where'd my playlist go?
Friends and family of Enrique Delgado-Garcia.
This is from just 6 hours ago. There was a procession, it seems, escorting his body to the medical examiner's office.
Friends and family of Enrique Delgado-Garcia visibly devastated as officials prepared for his procession from Worcester to the chief medical examiner facility in Westfield.
Trooper Enrique Delgado-Garcia, he was weeks away from graduating from the State Police Academy.
Mass State Police says the recruit became unresponsive in the boxing ring during a defensive tactic drill. The 25-year-old was rushed to UMass Memorial Medical Center from the academy on Thursday. Police say despite heroic efforts, he passed away surrounded by friends and family.
I don't think there's words that can express how awful and how tragic the situation is.
Delgado-Garcia was part of the 90th recruit training troop that began this spring.
They were scheduled to graduate October 10th.
Mass State Police says they administered the oath of office in his final hours of life, which culminated with Delgado-Garcia being pinned with his trooper badge.
It's just a awful tragedy.
And this is just from this is just from 2 hours ago. This is WBZ Boston.
A police procession across central Massachusetts to honor a state police recruit who died while training to be a trooper. 25-year-old Enrique Delgado-Garcia was pronounced dead at UMass Memorial on Friday, 24 hours after he was knocked unconscious during a self-defense drill at the State Police Academy. Sky Eye was over the somber procession for Delgado-Garcia last night as his body was brought to the state medical examiner's office in Westfield. His family says it was his dream to be a state trooper, and he was set to graduate with his class next month. In a statement, Governor Healy says, in part, he was a beloved member of his academy class, known for his compassion and devotion to service. This is a devastating time for all who knew and loved him, and we are holding Enrique's family and his state police community in our hearts.
And here is the full statement from Governor Healy. Well, that is the full statement. They just read it to you. I'm heartbroken about the loss of Massachusetts State Police trainee Enrique Delgado-Garcia, who had committed himself to a career protecting the people of Massachusetts. He was a beloved member of his academy class, known for his compassion and devotion to service. This is a devastating time for all who knew and loved him, and we are holding Enrique's family and his state police community in our hearts. And that is on the mass.gov website, and that was released yesterday, the 14th of September. I have Sean McDonough with me. So without further ado, I can't promise you that the language is going to be clean today. So just, be prepared because you never know what's going to happen. Hi, Sean.
Hey, Melanie. How are you?
How are you?
Not good, but I'm very happy to be here with you. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you so much
to see
for
the chat, lively as they always are.
Yeah, they are.
I'll be keeping it classy.
No, that's okay, Sean. I know you're outraged and you have every right to be outraged. And tell us, the family has reached out to you, yeah?
Well, yeah, and through an intermediary who's a very close friend of mine who works for one of those secret agencies that I have grown close to over my time here with the Karen Reed case. And it's a devastating time for everyone who's involved in any of this movement involving the state police. And I'm not sure if you understood how I got into this tragedy, but
please tell us, because many, I know you did a members only last night, and so people that were not members did not get a chance to see it. I'm going to put you full screen for a sec. I'll be right back. Go for it.
So basically, Melanie and the chat, I obviously heard about the the tragedy, the incident that happened on Thursday. Okay. And kind of like, I hate to say this, kind of like the John O'Keefe incident where, you know, oh my God, this is awful. And you don't hear much about it afterwards. You know, it's a tragic accident. Well, in this case, kind of the same way. I was preparing for another show, but on Friday morning, the 13th, I was taking all kinds of calls from sources, mounting up on another investigation. And I got this one call. And the person on the other end said, Sean, you don't know me, but you need to sit down right now. I said, okay. Did you hear about the trooper that got rushed to the hospital on Thursday? I said, yes, I did. She said, are you sitting down? I said, I am. Person said, the trooper is in effect already deceased. I said, what do you mean? This was supposed to be a training incident. She said, no. Already deceased. He was brought in on life support that evening. He had 3 broken vertebrae. He had teeth missing. He had massive skull, back of the skull head injuries, right? He had contusions all over his body, and he had a broken leg. And I said, well, wait a minute. So wait a minute. I said, I thought that this had to do something with training in boxing. And the person said, no. Well, they said, that's what they're saying. I said, listen, I've boxed before. I've seen horrible fights, bare knuckle. I've never seen anyone that was in a controlled environment suffer that amount of injuries in a controlled environment. Even in an uncontrolled environment, fights don't last that long. Usually you get into it and the next thing they're on the ground. Okay. So the person hung up and I said, listen, I said to myself, okay, this was 11 o'clock in the morning on Friday the 13th. I said, what do I do? Do I do something? I figured everybody was in on this. I figured that everyone knew because what the hell, I'm down here in Florida.
Right.
They're up there. So at 12:08, Melanie, I posted, you'll be hearing that the poor trooper in the 90th RTT will be pronounced dead at some point today. 3 broke, I gave the whole thing, the same thing that I was told. That post laid dormant. Now, some reporters up there, they'll remain nameless, have my telephone number.
Mm-hmm.
They never called me, ever called me. I was doing the live on Friday the 13th with JFK, and someone had come out and said, Sean, you were right. They just announced his death. 6 hours later, right, they announced it, okay? And it wasn't until probably yesterday afternoon that the Colonel Mon gave a lukewarm, typed out statement. Whereas I felt, my God, why couldn't he show his face and give a press conference and give the members of the community of Massachusetts some type of assurances that this would be investigated at the highest. So yesterday I started talking to Josie, is my mutual friend. She's a Latina. She's obviously has the language. There was a language barrier between the mother and father and the people in the Massachusetts State Police. They couldn't even get, Melanie, a Hispanic person to communicate with the family, almost like it was being planned that way. So there would be a barrier. So the person, they couldn't answer the questions in a timely fashion.
They had no interpreter on staff, you're telling me.
As a fact, Josie
neither
had
at the
to
hospital nor on staff at MSP.
No, right. Josie had to do the interpretation. I believe she was in South Carolina. Think about it. South Carolina to Worcester, back and forth. I mean, listen, and then the, the fact that the parents are in such distraught, crying. You can't hear what's going on. You try and translate. And it's almost like it was done by design. Then I had another hero source call me and say, Sean, I had to be careful with this, but they said, we know inside that hospital that the doctors on the staff caught wind of what the troopers or the Mass State Police were putting out for the cause of his death, and they vehemently disagreed, stating they know he was murdered.
Okay, let's rewind back a little bit.
I mean,
Here, let me just ask you a question. So
then I had to go
typically,
on last
like
night.
in police academy training, right?
Right.
They do boxing exercises, I would
Absolutely.
imagine, right? And because you
Right.
have to learn how to, defend
Sure.
yourself and stuff.
Right.
Are they provided with protective gear?
Evidently, the conditions were headgear, mouthpiece, 16-ounce gloves, which is like, those are big gloves.
Mhm.
Purposely. That's how novices learn how to box, right? The real fighters, Tyson, 8-ounce, 10-ounce gloves. And like the doctor said, this would be comparable of his injuries would be comparable of getting hit by a car at 100 miles an hour. Michael Tyson can hit you at 40 miles an hour. Still, with all the fights Michael Tyson's been in, Conor McGregor, basically with an 8-ounce glove, and he's beaten down people. Not one person has ever had a broken neck. I mean, those are vicious. That MMA thing, that is vicious.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how do you get a broken leg? How do you break your neck when you have an instructor and two combatants in a ring? How do you, I can't fathom it.
So
however,
these training exercises are supervised, right? There's a trainer there. There's some sort of supervision.
Supervised and videotape.
So we'll get to the videotape in a
Sure.
second.
Right.
So just to play devil's advocate here, let's say
Sure.
he took a blow to the head and he fell
Sure.
backwards.
Right.
He has padding on. It
Right.
wouldn't fracture his skull, right?
No.
Let's say he, for some reason, got hit fell forward.
Sure.
He could fall on his face.
Right.
He has the mouth guard in. He's not going to break
Right.
his teeth. He's not going to
Exactly.
fracture his skull in the front because
Right.
of this padded headgear that he's wearing.
Right.
So, any indication that, this was really some sort of right away I heard this story and I'm like, okay, what? Isn't it supervised? Aren't there other people there watching? Aren't there other trainees who are waiting for their turn?
Exactly.
Despite all of the research that I did, I could not find any time of the accident or time that he was transported to the hospital. Are you aware of that?
I'm not.
Because I wonder, do they train, is it like a 9 to 5 thing? And then at night they go to dinner and they do other things. Like,
Right.
is it something that would have happened during the day? It seems sus to me.
Melanie, I've been through 3 academies, and each academy, I went from the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center in Glencoe, Georgia. Yes, we had boxing matches. You have to take a punch in the face to know what it feels like, right? That's what they do.
I don't know, but yes, I'll take your word for it.
If you're going to be in the game, right? I'm sure Duty Ron and Ed Wallace can tell you. You got to know what it feels like, especially if you've never been in a fight.
Right.
And I get the concept. I was in the Arlington County, the Virginia Training Center, same thing. And of course, the FBI Academy in Quantico, right? We all had the training. It's supervised. So back to your example. If one of those scenarios took place, that would mean that he was knocked out. That is right there. This is not a professional fight. Millions of dollars are not on this. There's no way to give a kid a standing 8 count. You're done. It's over with. You stop the thing. You give the kid some type of medical situation. You don't let him get up dazed and get pummeled again.
No,
it defies logic. Did that happen though?
Right. Well,
Did
that's what I'm
that
saying.
happen?
So what if, let's say, he had some sort of cardiac event in the middle of this
Right.
boxing match
Right.
and he fell on his face,
Right.
still would not sustain these types of injuries wearing all of the protective gear. It just wouldn't happen.
Melanie, we've seen the script before. John O'Keefe. You got the arm. Which part of the car on the body are you going to go for? Okay, you punch the face, he goes down, right? He hits his head. If he goes forward, he loses a teeth. How do you get a broken leg?
Well,
Right.
John O'Keefe was only hit at 24 miles per hour,
Right.
allegedly.
Right.
So who is it that is saying that he looked like he was hit at 100 miles an hour? Who said that?
One of the doctors
One of the doctors.
at
So
the medical center.
did they do a press conference? Because typically when something happens like this, or even any event, the doctors come down, they talk to the press.
Absolutely. Even a 10-minute, 5-minute, this is what happened. This is what we did to save his life. There was no way we could save his life. The family decided to, stop all life support. But I understand from the family that immediately he passed. Immediately
After they took him off life support?
When they stopped the life support, he had passed immediately.
I mean, they were only doing it I heard he was an organ donor, so
Right.
they may have been doing that for
Keep
organ,
him- right.
for organ harvesting purposes, and to give the family time to say goodbye, and to it's a big decision to make, especially
Yeah.
within 24 hours, and so
Right.
my experience tells me that whatever the doctors told the family about his prognosis is that, look, he's not coming back. There's nothing that we can do to save him, and we're going to keep him alive until you are given the freedom to make that decision. And if he was an organ donor, then that's what they would do. And people are saying they heard he wasn't transported immediately. I heard 911 wasn't called for 10 minutes.
10 minutes. They waited 10 minutes. Those are critical minutes. I don't care what anyone says.
100%.
Right. And I believe at the state-of-the-art training centers, right, when you have stuff like this, like when you're doing these major physical activities like running and climbing up the fence barriers and jumping over, you have to have a medical team in case. Listen, they've lost many people from dehydration, passed out. One kid had a heart attack and died maybe 10, 15 years ago. It's like anything else. You should have immediate medical attention available in cases like this.
And it says that they did. I mean, in this article that I read before, it said that the Academy's on-site medical team immediately rendered aid and transported him to UMass Memorial Medical Center in Worcester. So that's the story that the media was told. So of course they have a medical team, and but who was there? There had to be other people there.
Right. So after last night's show, I made a plea. My partner made a written plea, a beautiful plea to the members of 90th RTT. This is the time integrity hits you.
Yes.
This is the time you make those hard decisions. Well, another source close to a family member in that academy class said they're fearful because they were all made to sign non-disclosure agreements while entering the academy. And the people who washed out or quit or whatever, rang the bell and said, I'm done. They were told, remember, even though you're not with us, you're still under the NDA.
I would love to see a copy of that NDA because I heard about that too. So I can't even really opine as to the legal sufficiency or, is it an NDA or is it a release, like a liability waiver? So I don't even want to misname it, but I did see some stuff about that, and I would love to see a copy of one. If anyone has a copy of one, my email is open, fanbase@mlittlelaw.com.
Also, with that same information, Melanie, sorry to cut you off.
Go for it.
The other part of the information was that it was revealed to her that there was a drill instructor that everyone was afraid of, and that caused several people to basically leave the academy. And that drill instructor could be the cause of what happened to Enrique on Thursday night. Whether he was the supervisor, whether he allowed this thing to go too long, whatever. But my point is this, Melanie. Why has it taken, under the circumstances where we have Birchmore and O'Keefe, what are they hiding? Why aren't they being transparent?
I mean, somebody said that Colonel Mon did give a statement.
Right.
I don't know where it is. I mean, I have an article here from Boston 25 that just says a spokesperson for the MSP says, but it doesn't name him as being Mon, that said that our thoughts and deepest condolences go out to trainee Delgado-Garcia's family, loved one, and fellow trainees during this incredibly difficult time. A statement from the MSP said. Enrique was a fine young man who devoted himself to the service of others. I mean, it's just a whole bunch of fluff. Oh yeah,
Fluff.
that's Colonel Mon. All right, here it is. Let's
That's
put it
Colonel
up
Mon.
here.
It was like the Lucas Warm statement you could make. Where's the meat? Where's the initial part of this? It doesn't take that long to figure out what happened to this poor kid.
Where is we're going to get to the bottom of this and find out what happened. Where's that? Here it is. Enrique was a fine young man who devoted himself to the service of others as a member of the 90th Recruit Training Troop, and in his former role as a victim witness advocate in the Worcester County District Attorney's Office. So he was a victim's advocate in the District Attorney's Office, the Worcester District Attorney's Office, the same one that is investigating this death. The Massachusetts State Police grieves the tragic loss of trainee Enrique Delgado-Garcia, and we offer our deepest condolences to his family and loved ones. They have the full measure of our support and care, and they remain full members of our state police family, said State Police Colonel John Mon Jr. In his short time with the state police, Enrique demonstrated an extraordinary capacity to learn and a desire to deliver excellent police services to all the people of Massachusetts. He made an immediate impression on his classmates and the academy staff. By all accounts, Enrique possessed and displayed all the qualities that would have made him an outstanding trooper: kindness and compassion, dedication and commitment, willingness to work hard to improve himself, and a strong desire to help others. So that's the statement by Colonel Mon. That's, like you said, a bit lukewarm. WTF. You told me that the family told you, or the intermediary from the family told you, that the family was shown an 8-minute boxing video. Tell us about that.
Looks like the Mass State Police has doubled down. They're saying this was an incident that happened during a boxing match. Okay. They were shown 8 minutes of a video. And according to the family, they didn't see any timestamps. They didn't know who was in it. We talked about this. Was it inverted? Who knows?
I said, was it inverted? Was the
I know.
timestamp wrong? Was there a problem with the camera?
Right. The thing is, it's still, like I said, this was 2 weeks out from the graduation. Generally speaking, at the end, you've made it through. Right? There's no more humping around. There's no more, bad blood, DIs yelling. This is the time. It's 2 weeks out. You probably have a couple of little things to clear up. You're getting prepared to go out and do the job you wanted and you sweated for 25 weeks. This is not the time. This is not the time people wash out. The people who wash out are done. This kid was number one in his class, Melanie.
Wow.
This, like I said, this is the time you're getting your constitutional law firmed up. You're getting some practicals. It's supposed to be a very fun time. This is when the group comes together. This is not when a kid gets killed.
No, it's not.
It's horrible.
I mean, 2 weeks, they were supposed to graduate on October 9th. Like any beefs that these guys wouldn't plural.
Right.
These guys would have had, it would probably don't you become very close with your classmates when you're going through the academy? Aren't they like your brothers? Like what?
This is when the class gels, forms, has pride. They're getting ready to go on maybe their last run. They got the flag, 90th RTT, hoorah, whatever the hell they do. This concept of being paramilitary or military, got to stop. These guys listen, no offense to the troopers, right? Mm-hmm. But let's face it, you're not going into a war zone. Right. Majority of guys are going up in the midnight shift and writing tickets on the Mass State Turnpike.
Mm-hmm.
This is not, you're not going into the fog of war. Not where a kid gets killed.
No, I mean, the first thing I thought when I heard it was like hazing, but they've already been there for months. Like, doesn't hazing start in the beginning? Like, if you join a fraternity or whatever, that's something that happens in the beginning, to weed people out.
But then again, Melanie, this is 2024.
Right.
That's tough. When I was a Westfield State freshman, they hazed us doing swirlies in the toilets. I get that.
Yeah.
But you don't do this anymore. We've advanced. We're humans.
Well, you're not supposed to do it.
Has the utmost spotlight on them now. This is not what they need at this particular time. And they better come forward. They better come forward because this is going to have awful, awful impact on the whole state at this time.
If this did happen during a training exercise, you know that there are witnesses, and I would hope
Right.
that they would come forward. But I would imagine that many of them would be afraid that it would prevent
Of
them
course.
from graduating, from
Yeah.
from achieving their dream of becoming a Massachusetts State Trooper. What do you say to those people out there, those recruits who may have witnessed something, who may be afraid to speak out? What do you say to them?
You know, there's a great story, ironically, about a Canton police officer that became a Mass State Trooper. And in that county, Worcester County, he arrested the daughter of a powerful judge in Worcester County. And certain things happened, right? And he arrested her, and he wrote in the report that this woman, she was a junkie, she was a prostitute. And his captain came and said, you're going to change that report. He says, I'm not going to change it. And he received discipline. He sued them, right? And he won it. That's integrity.
Yeah.
That's when you say, no, I'm standing up to you and the troop. Now, did he pay hell for it? Maybe. I don't know. But the ironic thing is, Melanie, he was a former Canton cop.
Wow.
And this is what Canton needed, a guy like him. His nickname is Frenchie. Ryan, for 2 years, I can't pronounce his name. Scurvio, something like that. I get it wrong all the time. But that guy's a hero.
Yes.
They're going to need a hero. They're going to need, last night also, I did a roll call of all the old guys I either knew or worked with. I called them out. Stand up. Stop
Say it
the
again,
madness.
Sean. Say it again. Say their names.
Stop the madness. Tom Foley, former colonel of the Mass State Police. You lived next to me for a whole year at Davis Hall, Westville State. Stand up. He is a former Westville State grad like me and you. All right? Stevie Gowan, same thing. Stand up. Timmy Seacott, stand up. Dermot Moriarty, you live in Canton. Stand up. Okay? Right? Tommy Coffey, Lieutenant Tommy Coffey, stand up. All right? Byron Rizzo's, stand up. Stop the madness. Stop the bleeding, right? And do what's necessary to bring justice to this state.
And if there were any recruits, trainees, they would be heroes for speaking up, because that is what the state of Massachusetts needs right now, is people in law enforcement who are not afraid to speak up, because we've seen too much stuff hidden, covered up. Sandra Birchmore, it took 3.5 years for Farwell to be arrested for her murder when the medical examiner ruled that a suicide. John O'Keefe's murder was ruled undetermined. What is the medical which medical examiner are they going to have perform this autopsy of Enrique? Is it going to be the undetermined one? Is it going to be the suicide one? Is it going to be the accident one? Which one is it going to be?
Right.
And I hope, and my advice to the family would be, lawyer up, get yourself an amazing civil litigator firm. They will not charge you by the hour. They take these cases on contingency. They will hire someone like Michael Bodden to come in and do an independent autopsy, because based on everything that we've been covering lately, you and I both, all of these cases needed an independent autopsy. And in the case of Sandra Birchmore, that wasn't done until years later. It needs to be done now. It needs to be done contemporaneous with the event. And an investigator needs to be investigating this privately, because who knows? And we do know how much stuff can be concealed within days, hours. It's devastating. Let me just
every minute counts. Every minute counts.
Every minute counts.
Investigation.
Imagine having to make the decision of whether to take your son off life support. 25 years old. Breaks my heart.
Horrible.
Hannah, thank you. Says, looking forward to today's stream because I'm at a loss for words myself. More blood on MSP's hands. Unbelievable. Thank you, Hannah. Thanks, Suze. MSP did make a statement. Send it to your email. Very generic and so detached. Colonel Mon not really giving us anything. Dreamer Thinker, thanks for the 10. Todd should be put in charge of a full audit of this. It's time to stop the half-hearted, halfway transparency. I know that Todd McGee is on a lot of shows. I don't know what his current relationship is with the MSP. So I don't know that he would be in charge of any audit, but what
Right.
say you?
Well, here's the thing. Can they be trusted?
Right.
Can they be trusted to do the job that it's going to take? I hate to say this, Melanie. No. And there needs to be a federal, I hate to say it. They did it in Birchmore. They're doing it in O'Keefe. Josh Levy has to come in and do the state police's job again.
Right.
To get justice again.
Right.
That's the reality. Can
maybe
they be trusted? They can't. The kid, Nick Garino, missed 33,000 text messages between Matthew Fowler and that poor girl, Sandra.
I know.
He invented evidence in the O'Keefe case. What's he going to do? I mean, he can't do it in this case, but I'm just saying, that's the thing. Can they be trusted?
Right. Well, not only that, but Guarino missed 30,000 text messages on Farwell's phone, but they had Sandra's laptop the same day, and all those messages were on there, and they had access to it, so they just hid that part of it.
That's it.
Sue says, I've seen jockeys go down in collisions going 35 miles an hour, trampled by 100,000-pound horses, and not one has had one fractured vertebrae. One happened in front of me 2 weeks ago today. I'm outraged. Thank you, Suze. Always Dewey. Here's $1.99 more than the government statement is worth. Dewey's always got the comments, the good ones. Shock and horror. Thanks for the 5. His former classmate said he would buy, I can't see what that says, flowers for all the girls on Valentine's Day so no one felt left out.
Wow.
He sounds like a wonderful human. R.I.P. Yes. Rest in peace, Enrique. I don't know when the services are going to be, but I imagine that they are going to be well attended.
Yes.
I mean, autopsies can take a while. Della, was he a former police explorer or a victim ready to talk? Or after working for county knew something too close in time to Sandra Birchmore County retrial? Intentional, in my opinion. Dewey, thanks for the 20. Thank you for this channel chat and guest. We love you, Dewey. Thank you. Thanks, Kelly, for your super sticker. Tom Gillis, golf instructor. Thank you. Great show and guest. Sean is great. Sean is great. Sean is great. Sean and I met during this case.
We did, Melanie.
I think before you even had a channel. You didn't even have a channel.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God. Tom Gillis. I know Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You play golf with him?
Well, I seen him play. He's a pro. I seen him play at Tiburon. My buddy was his roommate in South Carolina in college.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yeah, it's a small world, Tommy.
Thank you, Tom. Thomas, another Tom. They say injured like he hurt his rotator cuff. The injuries were traumatic. Yeah. They say, accident like it wasn't, like it was an event, like it was some sort of medical event. Mary says, chat, please share this live on your socials. Thank you, Mary, for that. I'm just a girl in the world. As a former academy graduate from another department, defensive tactics aren't typically just being taught 2 weeks before graduation.
Absolutely.
Huge red flag, in my opinion, says this girl.
Because Melanie, you get the pictures taken for the graduation class. You don't want to cross the aisle with getting your badge and whatever the certificate with a black guy. I'm just a girl in the world. You are absolutely right. Great point. Great point.
Thank you. Thank you for that. You're right. Who wants to get their graduation with a black eye? Oh, sweetie, no. Thanks for the 5. UMass Memorial Health in Worcester has an entire interpreter services department that's available 24/7, 365. I just checked.
And it takes a young lady from South Carolina to do the interpretation. That's crazy.
It's disrespectful and insane.
Yes.
How do you not communicate with the family whose loved one is on life support in their language? And it's not like it's Spanish, for Christ's sake. It's not like it's, maybe they wouldn't have a Mandarin interpreter on staff, but you definitely have a Spanish interpreter on staff. Give me a break. Makes me mad. Glama. Suze, thanks again for the 10. I was punched by a very strong man, at least 125 pounds heavier than me. No gear. My head hit the stove and possibly. I'm so sorry this happened to you. I have no memory of it. I did not suffer injuries as bad as Enrique.
Melanie, I'll tell you a quick story real quick.
Yeah.
My first supervisor, I'm going to say it, meeting. We had a meeting down in Key West. And after the whole thing, we went out to a bar. And there's a bunch of us, the cops, agents, and there's a couple of locals. Well, my buddy's getting into it with another guy. And of course, me always being in the wrong place at the wrong time. I get the brunt of a Budweiser tall boy full over my head. Broke the whole thing. Broke the full beer bottle. I didn't get a busted skull. Now, listen, I got a big head, a thick head, but let me tell you, that beer bottle, all it did was get the shards on my face. But that's what I'm saying. This guy wailed on me with a beer bottle, full one. And didn't give me no broken head or severe skull injuries or anything.
Right.
I did talk to one of the managers for, I hate to say it's Conor McGregor. And he said, knowing what he said, he made a good point. 16 ounces, you got a lot of space. Were there brass knuckles? Were there something heavy? That's a great point because I can't see the amount of damage. These 16-ounce gloves, they're big powder gloves. I mean, listen, if you're not a fight, you're gonna get hit.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna hurt you, but not break your bones, not
fracture your neck.
Oh God, it's crazy. I'm telling you, it's crazy.
Break all your teeth. Mike B from the 413. MSP has its own ambulance on site. Also, the regional police, fire, EMS is in a building on campus.
Yeah.
Also, search the name Timothy Shepard from 1988. I don't know about Timothy Shepard.
Right, I believe he died. That's the thing. When you go on these runs and it's hot, they follow them. They follow them out with the medical unit, and just in case someone collapses.
Oh, well, Amy Jarvis, thanks for the 5. Enrique sounds like he was the type of man who would have stood up if something like this happened in his presence. That's right. And so maybe to anyone who may be a witness, he would have done this for you. And so maybe this is what his family deserves for you to do for him. If there are witnesses, if something nefarious happened, which is our opinion. Greg, thanks for the 10. A mother of an ex-MSP told me her son called her and said that this death was from a fight night that goes on at the academy. He went through it. Definitely needs to be looked into from a federal level.
Absolutely. No
Fight
doubt.
night.
They can't be trusted to police themselves. We know this.
Yeah, we know
They
this.
They can't be trusted to do a regular investigation of a police officer. Never mind
Fellow police officer.
their own. This is crazy. This is where we're at in 2024, Melanie.
It's disgusting, and it needs to stop.
Yes.
It needs to stop. Where's Marcy on this? Well,
Well, he's the Joe Early, which I don't know if he's any better because he's another longtime Paul up there. I'm not sure.
It's not his county. This is Worcester.
Right.
Worcester DA's office, but
Worcester.
those are his words. Needs to stop.
Stop.
Mike from the 413. The ME handling it is whoever is assigned to the Westfield office this weekend. Saw the motorcade heading there on the Mass Pike. Maybe Sean knows who it is. Yeah, we played that footage of them.
Right.
The
And think
motorcade
about
heading
that.
there.
Why would they go to the boonies? Listen, I know it's a medical exam, but take it to I know they have to go to certain places in the county, but take it to a person that's going to be somewhat independent, I don't know.
Well, I would suggest by perhaps Irene Scorti-Bello or whoever did the autopsy on Sandra Birchmore might not be the right choice. But then again, is it going to go to a medical examiner who Proctor and Buchanan and their cronies were used to strong arming into giving them the results that they wanted on the death certificate? Because we've seen that in open court too.
Right. And was the fact that they sworn him in as a state trooper to control him, to control where he goes because of an on-duty death?
Well, I don't know that would be retroactive though. My thought, of course, I'm thinking of like the nice reason for doing that would be that his family would receive benefits, perhaps of some kind, a pension, a death benefit, something. But maybe you're right. Sean, is there a GoFundMe for the family? Do you know?
Well, I was going to say this. Rosie did say that they want to start up a GoFundMe thing. Now, I don't know how to do it. She doesn't know how to do it. But if anyone does know how to set up a GoFundMe, contact me. I'll give the contact me at S.A. McDonough, McDonough, 8 at gmail.com. And I'll get that over to Rosie. That's what they want to do.
Let me just type this out and put it up on the screen.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
S.A. Here, you tell me if I
McDonough.
spelled this right. S.A. McDonough.
Perfect. There you go.
At gmail.com. Okay, if
That's
anybody
it.
knows how to or wants to, well, you have to really trust who you choose to run a GoFundMe, but maybe somebody can guide you
Right.
how
Exactly.
to do it. Aunt Bibi, Melanie, Sean, has anyone done a GoFundMe? Oh, thank you, Aunt Bibi. We're
There we
just
go.
talking about that. Thanks. Prayers for the family. Aunt Bibi, you're the greatest. Stephanie, can it be possible that a white supremacist group has infiltrated the MSP? We're shocked to hear they call themselves paramilitary. The shaved heads and the tight suits they wear. I don't know anything.
It's funny you say that because there was a hint that someone either in this class or the class before was a member of the LBGQ2. Sorry, I can't. And they got some flack. And I don't know. Listen, I'm not going to comment on that. I will tell you this. I've been in fights both with gloves on and bare knuckles.
Mm-hmm.
I've been hit hard. I've been hit with bottles over the head. I've hit hard. I've never been hurt that way. Yeah, black guy, fat lip, maybe busted nose, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a broken leg. I don't have teeth missing. I don't have all this. The bruises on the body say it all.
Deja vu all over again. Like John O'Keefe did not get hit by a car.
There you go.
Because his
That's
injuries
true.
are not consistent with being struck by a car.
Right. Exactly.
As a pedestrian. They're just not.
No.
And this moron, okay, because now we're taking the gloves off. The
Here
proverbial
you go,
gloves
Melanie.
are coming off, my friend.
Right.
Because this moron tried to discredit
God.
me on court TV twice back in January. And since then, she has done nothing she's done a lot of other things, but she loves to trash me on Twitter. That's what she does. She trashes people on Twitter, especially women. And so let's pull this up because I was horrified when somebody sent this to me today. So here we go. We're going to talk about it. I usually don't talk about this person or allow this person on my channel to be mentioned, but let's listen to this. This was the tweet from, I don't even know when this was. Okay.
Right.
This person, Jennifer Coffendorfer, who claims to be an ex-FBI agent, and she's a talking head all over every channel that will have her. And she is also, I mean, if you ever had your doubts that she was a PR person for the state of Massachusetts, because now let's just broaden it out to the entire state. At first, we thought maybe it was just the Norfolk DA's office, and her hatred for Karen Reed is so evident. But let's just see what she has to say about Enrique. Training is typically difficult at federal and state police training academies. And then she hashtags it, right? So everyone looking for this story will find this.
Sure.
Did Enrique Delgado-Garcia have an underlying condition not detected in his physical?
Right.
Do they teach the carotid hold, and was it held too long? Was he practicing taking a non-compliant person into custody, and during the struggle, he was mortally injured? I don't know. But I know there's often blood, bruises, concussions, unconsciousness, and sometimes broken ribs and limbs that have resulted during new agent training classes. You have to prepare for battle against people who want to kill you, but no one should die in training. God bless this young 25-year-old who is training to serve his community and state. And then she links an article, posts some pictures of him for clout. This thing has like 24,000 views.
Jesus.
And the 103 comments on here are full of hate for her.
Negative. Right?
Full of hate. And here's the thing about Twitter. It doesn't matter if your engagement is good or bad. It just matters that you get engagement. She's tried to bury this in her feed, but it's not really good.
So Melanie, she referenced the new agent training class, right? They call it NA whatever, NA 100, NA 102, right? It's the new agent class, right? Well, my class and NA 100 in 1986 came in together. Their version of defensive taxes was, ooh, ooh, ooh. And we were right next to them. And we're DEA guys, we're pounding on each other. Women are pounding on women. And they're over there like little buffies. Woo, woo. I hate to say it, but
Buffy.
you think that little, listen, she gets involved. This person is the resident expert on every crime there ever is, and she doesn't know nothing.
Yeah,
She
an
was
underlying
active.
condition, like maybe he had an arrhythmia, or maybe he had AFib and he just had a heart attack, or maybe, he was vaccinated and that's what caused him to collapse and fracture his own skull and break all his own teeth. And maybe that's what happened.
Melanie, I found out for the first 3 years of her career that she buried, she was an agricultural agent, which is fine. But they told me she did most of her job watching people do cow tipping out in the fields of Texas.
Cow tipping?
Yeah,
That makes complete
That's
sense.
what she did. That was her surveillance things. Come on.
That
Come
makes
on. She's
complete
the
sense. Well,
resident
that was
expert in
on.
everything.
Then she doubles down because then she tweeted this yet, because I'm not done yet, Sean. You didn't think I could be done yet, right? No, we have more. She doubles down after people start, getting mad at her, because she also trashed David Yannetti the other day, which, you don't touch David Yannetti, okay? In my book, everything I'm saying is my own opinion. Everything that Sean is saying is his own opinion.
Right.
And we're here to talk about our opinions of people. Because this woman has said that I'm a grifter, that the only reason I was covering the Karen Reed case is because I want to make money. Yeah, I should be disbarred. I don't know if she said that or if that was Grant Smith Ellis, son of Wendy Murphy, who's another whack job. The word whack job was invented for these people, okay? Not Karen Reed.
Right.
But here we go. More information is being disclosed regarding the Massachusetts State Police Trooper trainee who died training. His name was, again, hashtagging it for the clout, Enrique Delgado-Garcia. He was only 25 years old. According to officials, he died while boxing in a training exercise. No one should die in training. Sadly, law enforcement officers, trainees, and officers die in training more than people may think. She's trying to make this seem like it's completely normal.
Natural. Yeah.
Completely normal. Happens all the time. Nothing to see here, folks. Right now, conspiracy theorists are saying there was a conspiracy to murder him. Is she calling the family a bunch of conspiracy theorists? Because now she's intimidating the witnesses. Now she's going after the family and the friends that have spoken out on TV. And if I didn't already have a problem with the last tweet, now I got a real problem with this.
Right.
You're calling the family of the victim, this fallen, now state trooper who should not have died at the police academy, no matter what. You're calling his family a bunch of, you want to call me a conspiracy theorist. You want to call Sean a conspiracy theorist. You want to call Will and Brian and Aiden. You want to call everyone a conspiracy theorist. That's great. You come for the families. That's another level of gross. It just is. She says in the FBI Academy, she says, right now, conspiracy theorists are saying that there was a conspiracy to murder him. Why is she capitalizing conspiracy in the middle of a sentence?
Right.
I don't believe that. In the FBI Academy, we had to box. I was knocked out cold one session. Another classmate's face was bruised for over a week after a session. We had a Golden Glove boxer in our class, and he and another classmate had a grueling session. I don't know if it was filmed, but it sounds like DT session gone horribly wrong. My thoughts and prayers are with Enrique's family. Again, this has 23.7 thousand views and nasty comments galore.
Yeah, she's ratioed. Like Turtle Boy said last night, she's ratioed. She has these views, but the comments, negative comments outweigh the positive comments. That's the thing.
Why? Why are you going after the family? Why are you out there normalizing this? What, of course, that's what it seems like, right? If you didn't have any doubt, maybe she's being paid to spin is she a PR person for them? I don't know. I never really, because she used to say that I was paid. I was paid by the defense, and I never.
She's setting up her next TV appearance. That's all she's doing. That's all she's doing.
Why would they even want her on their channel? Why would they even want her on her channel with this spewing this ridiculous blather?
Yeah, she got knocked out, right? I saw how they trained. Nobody got knocked out in the FBI Academy. For the FBI agents, I can tell you that.
Yeah. Oh, are you reporting this channel? Somebody's reporting this channel. I saw this. Who's this? Mr. Nice Guy? Oh, what are you going to report my channel for? For what? For talking? For calling out Jennifer Coffendorfer? Hold on a second. Let's go back to this person.
Come on.
That's okay. That's okay. This is what they do. You know what? You know why? This is what they do. So here's what we're going to do.
I mean, really?
No, this is
what are we saying?
These trolls do.
Talking the truth.
Mr. Nice Guy, 6668. I don't know. we're going to, because we have a sponsor, so we can show, if you want to show the pictures that you sent me, we can do that, because the great part about this channel is that I have a sponsor, so I'm not beholden to the YouTube censorship rules. So go on, bad boy, report me for whatever it is you think I did wrong. Go for it. So what we're going to do today is we're going to show a word from our sponsor while Sean and I go off camera for a moment. And my sponsor can help you with the recent hack, because your social security number is on the dark web and you need my sponsor, Aura, to tell you what to do about it and how they can help you. Today's video is sponsored by Aura, and it's a really important time to be talking about them, because hackers may have stolen the social security numbers of every American. Over 2.9 billion records were stolen from national public data, which offers personal information to employers, private investigators, staffing agencies, and others doing background checks. These stolen records include a person's full name, address, date of birth, social security number, and phone number, along with alternate names and birth date. And members of this hacker group have reportedly released this information on the dark web for free. I don't know if you've ever had your identity stolen, but I've had clients who've had their identity stolen. And not only is it a major hassle, but oftentimes before you find out, it's too late. The damage can take years to undo, and it's a hassle that you definitely do not want to deal with. So if you haven't been taking precautions before with your personal information online, this should be a huge wake-up call. You've never been more vulnerable online than you are right now. But I'm not too worried about it, because I use Aura. Aura alerts me if they find my phone number, my email, my social security number, or any other personal information on the dark web. They're going to let me know fast if anyone tries to use this information to access my credit or bank accounts. They give me up to $5 million in identity theft insurance should the worst case scenario happen. They also provide a bunch of other features to keep you safe online, all inside one app. And you can go to my link at www.aura.com/Melanie Little to try it for free for 14 days. That'll be enough time for Aura to find out if any of your personal information or data has been exposed. I highly recommend you do this right now, because not only is national public data not going to do anything to help you, they probably aren't even going to face any repercussions for this breach. I'm not leaving myself and my family vulnerable to data breaches. And if you don't want to either, you want to go to my link, www.aura.com/Melanie Little, to try 2 weeks for free. You can thank me later. Thank you, Sean.
Very nice.
Going back to Ms. JC, do you want me to show the thing that you sent from the thing?
Absolutely.
That the family sent you? All right.
Yes.
So you can explain this. We're going to put this on the screen.
Right.
I cannot speak to its veracity, but Sean can tell you where this came from.
Sure.
And let me get it up here first. Isn't this fun? Oh, wait, I got to put us back on. Hang on a second.
I've also been contacted by a MMA trainer.
Really?
And he was a former, I believe, special ops military person. And he's saying, based on his picture, he says, absolutely no way. Nobody sustained those injuries in a boxing match.
Wow.
Even in a bare knuckle, he said, you couldn't sustain those injuries unless it was an all-out pummeling, brawling. Nobody stopped in. No one cared. And they just let it go. Maybe he has doubts with the broken leg. It means that they would have to keep banging and banging on that poor kid's leg. Anyways.
I can't imagine. Okay, so somebody sent this to you. It appears to be a message from Jennifer Coffendorfer.
Yes, and that was sent to one of the family members.
Oh, look, and it was sent hoy, which means today in
Boy,
Spanish.
that's
And
correct.
everything else is Spanish on here, so
Yeah.
we can perhaps speak to its veracity. It's a message
Sure.
from Jennifer Coffendorfer
Right.
to this family member, and she says, "Hi, sir. First, I am so very sorry for your loss. Oops. The fact that he would be seeking to protect and serve others says so very much. I would be honored to help your family in any way I can to advocate for justice for him. Have you received any official reports? Will you be ordering an independent autopsy? Have you spoken with any of the other trainees?" She's fishing for information to
Absolutely.
feed back to the boss.
Yep. Absolutely.
This is not the way advocacy works. My thoughts and prayers are with you. This
Yeah.
was 7:05 a.m. today,
Right.
and I'm
And
assuming this person did not respond back to her, but just when you thought it couldn't get any worse.
yeah, I mean, she really is disgusting. I don't have any, I can't listen. I'd give you a strike if I said what I really wanted to say, Melanie, but no, I can't do it. I just can't with her anymore. I can't. She's
Reaching out to
proven
the
herself
family
to
member
be a,
that she's just called a bunch of conspiracy theorists
yeah,
yesterday, and then
right.
today she reaches out to them like, "Hey, you got any information? Can you give me?
Right.
Have you spoken to any of the? Do you really
Sure.
think that? I mean, thank God, Sean.
Yeah.
Just thank God that they were in touch with you
Right.
before they fell prey to someone like her."
I will comment, and I don't know if the ink is dry yet, but I believe David Yannetti has been in contact with the family.
Praise be.
So there's at least someone who knows exactly what this state police is all about. And I think that was a perfect call. And of course, he'll have the right people for civil, like Marty Weinberg.
Yeah.
How about that?
Well, Marty Weinberg is he's an appellate attorney. So
Right. True. But I'm just
yeah,
saying
I mean,
that type of
I don't
reach.
know. I don't know if he would be, but at the level, like they
yeah,
need
that type of
somebody at
reach
the level.
is there.
Yeah, somebody who the higher ups are afraid of, somebody who's
Sure.
done some damage and
Exactly.
some litigation, like
Right.
Mitch Garabedian, who's out of Boston, who handled all the
Yes,
sex abuse cases
exactly.
that I
Actually,
handled.
Mitch,
Mhm.
I believe Mitch hails from the Worcester County area. I believe.
Ah.
I do.
Well, when I was handling all those cases against the Catholic Church, he had handled
Yep.
all the cases in Boston
He
when
did.
the scandal broke, and the movie
He did.
Spotlight was about him. He was,
Right.
those were his
Right.
cases. He's one of the
And
best.
Attorney Newman handled my brother's case. I think
Mhm.
they're all kind of in the same network.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you want to should we show the pictures that you wanted to show?
Yeah, sure. Right.
All right, that you
You
said
know,
you had
like I said,
permission
I
from
mean,
the family.
yeah, and we've gotten permission. Yes. And like I said, the family wants to have as much information out there as possible. It doesn't matter who has it. They don't want to, they want every one of us to be talking about this. They want it blasted everywhere. So it doesn't take this long to get the truth. All right. Because we know now we're over 24, 48 hours into this, more than 48 hours, and they've given nothing. Zero. They haven't even shown their faces.
They've got no information. Wow.
Right.
This is
how
a
long does
very
it take for someone to say, yeah, it got out of hand? I mean, listen, I'm telling you, we saw this script decades ago in A Few Young Men, right? Whatever that's called, with
Few Good Men?
A Few Good Men with
A Few
Cruise
Good
and
Men, yeah, that movie
yeah.
with Tom Cruise, yeah.
Right. Who was another knucklehead, but we'll leave that alone.
Yeah. Will we? Okay.
Yeah.
So you have permission from the family to share
I
these
do.
photos that they sent
do.
to you personally. So
Yes.
we have permission. This was
Okay.
taken. Why don't you set the stage for this?
This
is
was
a chilling,
taken.
horrible photo.
Obviously, Enrique is still on life support, and they swore him in as a state trooper on Friday evening in a ceremony, and that was it right there.
And that was taken by one of the family members
Right.
in the hospital. Here's another picture.
So, you know,
to show us
so
what
this
we're.
is, yeah, so you got, this is kind of weird because, you know, in a regular boxing stance, if you look at that bruise that covers, you know, his, it looks like it's his left shoulder, way up on the top of his arm.
Here,
See
yeah.
there? All there.
Mhm. See the
And then
cursor?
this other bruise coming
There's a bruise
down,
here.
right. And then down below that, right there. I mean,
Well, that's his nipple, I think. That's what it looks like to me in the photo.
okay.
But
yeah,
this
I
is
can't
a
see-
definitely a bruise, and
Yeah,
on
okay.
the shoulder is definitely a bruise.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can't. Well, either way, I mean, and of course, this is, I'm not sure if there's a nurse there or his mother, but
I
know,
think
just-
it's a family. I think it's his mom. I think because
Yeah.
I can see she's got, you know, sort of like it's not scrubs. I can see that
Right.
it's not scrubs.
Sure.
And oh,
I do believe there are more pictures coming there of the face area. All right.
more
So,
bruising
okay.
here.
Yeah. See, and you know, it's the type of bruising, right? It's the
Right.
type of bruising that you should not get with these type of gloves.
No.
Yeah. Right. I mean, they're high impact. They're you know, they shouldn't be pinpointed bruising. You know, that's
No.
like a kick. That's like someone kicked them, right? And you know, like with some object was used because see, well, I can see how that's darker, and then it kind of branches
Right
out.
here?
Yeah,
Yeah.
right there. If it was a glove, right? Well, it would be covered. I mean, you couldn't make that type of mark. You know.
Right. And he's got the cervical collar on, obviously,
Sure.
to stabilize
Right.
him. And there again, I mean, this
Yeah,
what
all
looks
up
like
there.
a massive bruise on the left
Right.
shoulder.
Right. I mean, who? Listen, you box for the head, the body. You don't box for the shoulder,
Yeah.
right? You don't
Mhm.
give rapid punches to, you know, if he's going to have all this banged up on the back of the head, with severe head injuries, right? That's
No.
It seems like someone jumped on him and just pummeled him for minutes. I mean, that's a lot of work to break bone, to give
Right.
severe head trauma, to break a vertebrae.
Is this the leg?
That's the leg.
Fractured leg, you say he had?
Yeah,
That they
it's
said he
fractured.
had?
Yeah. Yep. I mean, how do you do that?
I
Do you
can see the
stomp on the
marks here
guy?
on the outside of the knee. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what
Do
somebody
you
said. It
stomp
looked
on
like
his leg? Brush it?
stomping or a steel toe boot.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go. Right. That's right. And then, of course, you know, that's his state. You know,
It's heartbreaking and it's
it's heart
chilling
wrenching.
and heart-wrenching. Yes. And people,
Right.
if there is anybody out there who has information,
Mhm.
what do you suggest they do, Sean? I mean, people are reaching out to you because people are afraid to reach out to
Right.
law enforcement. That's
Right.
the thing.
Yeah.
Don't
that's
reach
the
out to
thing.
Jay.
Right. Yeah. Right. You know, the fact is, and you know, maybe I get it a little bit. How could that tweet I put out lay dormant for 6 hours and not anyone question me about it? Now, they probably say, yeah, McDonough's a loon. He's putting out crazy stuff. You know, did I want to be vindicated? No. I just thought it was a horrible thing. And I thought that this was already out there. I'm down here in Naples. I thought this was already out there. 6 hours it takes to break the news.
Right.
No, like I know the guy from Fox has my number. We talk. He didn't call me, say, Sean, is this true? Yeah, it's true. Run with it. You know, search out, seek it out. I don't know. He covers Worcester too, especially the
Right.
state police.
Yeah, somebody says this was done by a psychopath. I mean, people are saying I was in a rollover car accident and my injuries weren't this bad.
Right.
Looks like he was kicked or
And the
stepped
key is-
on. Does an NDA
key
stop
is
at the
Melody.
Fed's door? Yeah, that's
Right.
Feds have
If
nothing
it
to do with
wasn't
NDAs.
an instructor himself, this was done under the guise and watchful eye of many instructors. This is the problem we have now. If it wasn't one of the instructors, whoever did it, right, was observed to have done this. And you have to have an incredible amount of force and time to create those injuries. This is not throwing a left and a right, a left and a right, right?
Mhm.
I'm telling you, it defies logic. And again, I'm saying it again. Those injuries on John's arm defies logic.
It
This
strains
defies logic.
credulity, my friend. It strains
There you go.
credulity.
There you go.
What was in the
God.
8-minute video? Did he go down in the video?
So this is the thing. I mean, again, the language barrier between the person showing, I believe, I'm sorry. It was a female district assistant district attorney for the Worcester County that was providing the information of the video, showing the video to the family. Okay, because he did work for the Worcester County DA's office prior to him signing up. So there is a connection there. And I'm just hoping and praying. Oh, here's another thing, Melanie. I just pray that this Mass State Police have brought in grief counseling for those poor recruits right now.
Yeah.
They know what happened. I don't care if they weren't all there. They know one of their brothers that they went through 23 weeks with is not going to be at the table tomorrow when they go out for their run, when they go out for whatever class they have, right? Standing at attention, with their trays, whatever. They know a person died in that class. That's traumatic.
Oh my God,
That's
I know.
traumatic.
I mean, that's the least they could do is grief counseling. I understand if they don't want to talk about what they saw in the video, but people were just curious about it.
Right.
Carrie, thank God for people like you both with integrity. Thanks for seeking justice. Let's hope one of those recruits come forward. R.I.P. Enrique. Thank you, Carrie.
Right. I'll tell you about this whole thing. I was in the jungle warfare training down at Fort Sherman in Panama for 4 weeks. And one of our classmates, they had us going through this obstacle course, and it rained. So we had to come up a ladder 20 feet in the air, right? Now, I wasn't there, okay? But friends of mine were there. We were on the other part of the training facility, right, at the time doing another obstacle course. The poor kid, right, fell off the ladder and fell onto his neck, broke his neck, and was a paraplegic. And when I tell you, DEA and the Marine Corps brought in trauma team members, grief counseling members. The kid was and it affected every one of us. Every one of us were affected. And we were already seasoned agents going through this stupid, crazy jungle school, which was a beautiful thing to go through. But to have that whole concept in your head, it just paralyzed the whole group of us. It was horrible.
Yeah, excuse the pun. I know, that's terrible.
Recruits, and they're thinking, Jesus, if I say something, everything I work for, I'm going to get fired. I'm going to be labeled a rat.
Right,
a rat. The police, you know it. You know it, Melanie. You know enough police officers. It's devastating. What do I do? Well, now's the time you make that decision. Are you going to be a good cop? Or are you going to be a Proctor or a Urey or a Tully or a
Farwell?
Farwell. There you go.
Nobody hates a bad cop more than a good cop, right?
Berkowitz, Gallagher, all these mofos. I can say mofo, right?
Oh, yeah, you could say mofo. Thank you, Aura, for being my sponsor. MJ, thanks. Boom. Great working, guys. Thank you, MJ, for your 20. Pops, U.S. Marine Corps. This is disgusting, utterly disgusting. Cleto was tough and effective. Early 70s had lighthearted hazing. Colorado Law Enforcement Academy. Hi, Sean. Mad respect. Thank you.
Thank you, Pops.
Semper Fi. Thank you for the 10. Retired Grancy. Thanks for tuning in from Canada. How can you protect a whistleblower? Someone needs to set up a protective box. Love both of you. Thank you. Whistleblowers are protected under federal law, so
Sure.
they know that too. Kevin, thank you for the 5. What has to be done to get justice? It seems as though the police and judicial system just probably means laugh in our faces.
Right. Well, Civil Rights Division of DOJ has an office, a rented office down at the U.S. Attorney's office. I think they would love either Springfield would come down. They have an office there. Worcester has an office there. And of course, out of Josh Levy, they're already up there. So,
I would imagine that Levy's on top of this. He has said in every press conference he's given about Farwell and other press conferences I've done about the commercial driver's license scandal. He has said even cops are going to be prosecuted by this office. Like law enforcement is not getting a get out of jail free card. He is not afraid. Greg says she also contacted the family and said she can help them investigate what happened. Right. We just pulled up that message. And then said, did they get the autopsy? To me, she is assisting the DA collect info to help protect them. Dirty.
She's a snake in the grass. She's a snake in the grass.
Della, thanks for the 5. Brother is 6'6", was a tough man boxer and trained boxers for the Rocky movie. He said this wasn't from boxing, especially with gloves. Maybe multiple folks and a weapon was used.
There you go.
One way or another, this darkness got to give. Thank you,
Right.
Phoebe Bird, for the Grateful Dead quote of the day. Sean, check your text messages. I can help set up the GoFundMe, etc. I can do it in minutes. Hugs. Thank you, Suze.
I got you, Suze. I got you.
Phoebe, please pass the pepper. Thanks for the 2. Says I'll never watch News Nation again. I didn't even play.
Oh, they
News
just
Nation.
reached
Did they
out
do
to me.
something horrible?
They just reached out to me, Melanie. You know, you can watch Please Pass the Pepper. They just reached out to me. They want to have me on tomorrow night.
Tonight? Oh,
No,
tomorrow
tomorrow
night.
night.
Oh,
With what's her name there?
Banfield?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
she's kind of originally, like, I was not really on board with her
Right.
reporting, but lately I feel that she has become a lot more fair.
She's all over Karen Reed.
Good.
Complete Karen Reed supporter. Complete.
She's the only, I mean, unlike, Julie Grant, who was, and then all of a sudden flipped.
Right.
I think Microdots just did a video on that. Like, what happened to Julie? Was it Microdots or Ozzy? I
Yes,
can't
I
recall.
think it was Microdots. Someone
But it
did
was like, well, what happened to Julie video? Because in the beginning, she was all Karen Reed was framed.
Right.
And now she's all Karen Reed's a witch, burn her. And that's why everyone goes to YouTube for their news now, because they can't even trust the people that they used to trust to report
Exactly.
fairly. Monique, thanks for the 20. Thank you, Monique. Super awesome to see Sean out here today. Love to you both. Would love to become a member of his YouTube channel. My prayers and condolences to Enrique's family and loved ones. Go on over. His channel is linked in the description, so you can find him easily. Ryan, thanks for the 5. Thank you for bringing attention to this. We need to hear from the new and incoming head of MSP, Jeff Noble, if he wants any sort of public trust. I don't know if he's allowed to give statements yet, is he? When does he take office? He's a Jersey guy,
I believe
right?
October 1st.
Oh, all right. Well, maybe
Yeah.
he's drafting his statement now.
What a mess for him. Oof.
Glow, thanks for the 5. Gracias. What can we all do for this family?
Pray. Pray.
Pray.
Absolutely.
And
Power
spread
of
the
prayer.
word. Spread the word. I don't know if
Yes.
this is only a local story right now. YouTube, we are international. YouTube.
Right.
International chatters. Tell us where you're from. That's why I did this early today, so that you could tune in from across the pond. We have so
Very
many
good.
Ireland, Scotland, Europe, South Africa. Tell us where you're from and where you're watching from. This needs national and international attention. Derek says Mass State Police is hiding access to the academy graduation pictures from prior classes. They are
Yeah.
in hide the ball mode. What?
Yep.
That's accurate? That's true?
That's accurate. They tried to go last night to find out the pictures from Proctor's class and this class, and they're off the web. Fortunately, Turtle Boy had the pictures saved. So
Okay. Well, screenshots are worth
talk about
a million
hiding the
words.
ball.
Yeah.
Come on, what do they got? Hiding the ball. You can't do that. You need to be transparent.
Yeah. Somebody sent me a Reddit thread, which I'm not going to post, but it was something about somebody who like quit because of hazing just about a year ago. So, I mean, I don't know that Reddit is 100% accurate, but look, if it could be,
Where there's
people can
smoke,
come forward with stories, and if they talk to
where
the
there's
media,
smoke, there's fire. I mean,
and
let's face
FBI,
it. We know
Nancy
this.
says, yeah, she's been involved in missing kid in Tennessee and just lies. She's in true crime. So sick. The kid is 15. Autistic Sebastian Roger. I think you're talking about JC.
JC.
Amy said his shoulder looks dislocated, or is it just me? Yeah, it did, but I'm not a doctor. So hopefully they did a full body x-rays at the
Yes.
hospital when he came
Right.
in, hopefully. And hopefully the medical examiner won't be coerced into manner of death and cause of death. And
Right.
it's like, who witnessed what happened? Yeah, that's what we're wondering. Hopefully they come forward. Reality check. I sent you a video his cousin just posted to my email.
Okay.
I'll take a look. Did you send it to my email? I don't see anything in my email. I'm not sure where you sent it to. Thank you, though. I'll take a look. Gaylin gifted 10 memberships. Thank you, Gaylin. You are so
Beautiful.
kind and generous. And to everyone who received them, welcome. Amber, thanks, Mel and Sean, for bringing awareness. Spoken TC, Sean, you need to get Ashley raging about this. Ashley Banfield, yeah.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Good, good. We'll all tune in tomorrow night for you on Ashley Banfield if you accept her invitation.
I
Should you choose to
got to
accept
talk
it.
to her producer right now. As a matter, she's
Oh, do you want me to take you off? Go off and talk
no,
to the
no,
producer.
no.
Come right back.
This is more
No,
important right here. This
Give
is
me
more
5 minutes to
important.
take a call.
No. This is perfect.
Sharon, if none of the recruits come forward, I certainly don't want them on the streets protecting us. If they don't do the right thing now, they've already picked their path. Yeah, I mean, look, fear is real, especially when you're talking about the MSP and all
Right.
these SOBs, like, you know, certain people in the other cases that we've been covering.
You know, I hate to beat up on this kid, Melly, but how did Trooper Paul get out of the academy?
I mean, I think
just put it out
he
there.
was given an impossible task. You know, reverse engineer this and make it look like, and he probably
I'm
thought
talking
his
about
theory
the
was like,
I'm talking about the boxing.
oh.
I'm sorry. It's probably too soon. Probably too soon.
Too soon. Dreamer Thinker, Sean, have you observed the corruption of medical examiners by law enforcement? This seems to be happening in Massachusetts.
I have, Melly, and you know this. I have cops never get involved with the ME. They do their own independent without any, and then the cops come to them and say, okay, doctor, what happened? It's not the other way around. You don't dictate to them and say, this is what you're going to do. This is what you're going to find. It's supposed to be set up as a completely independent investigation by their office.
Keywords supposed to be, but people like Proctor, they seem to think that he would be able to convince them to change their opinion. And others in the chat, like I forget if it was DeChico or somebody said, "Oh, you should have let me do it. You're a rookie, newbie." Sean, okay to post your Cash App on Maz's show until we get a GoFundMe set up. I don't think that you should collect donations. I don't think that's a good idea.
I don't
Thank you,
need that.
Suze.
That's
I don't think that would be a good look or,
would not.
proper.
No.
Graciela, thank you. Good day from Melbourne, Australia. My first live. Thank you for joining us from Australia. See, we are international. Zelda Kelly, thank you so much. Love seeing us. Wicked psyched. Witnesses come forward. Don't they take the names of all witnesses in investigation? They should.
Right.
Sweet Jane, when will this madness end? This is horrific. This is like worse than horrific. This is just Melanie, Sean has mail. I made a GoFundMe. Okay, but I don't know who's going to run it. Like, let's just, I know that we all want to help the family, but it needs to be done through proper channels by proper people need to be in charge of it. Just like a random person can't be like the collector of the money. Like there needs to be, and maybe there's a better way than a GoFundMe because I don't know what percentage they take. I don't know how long it takes to get paid. A lot of times donations are made directly to attorneys' offices so they can put the money in escrow and it goes to the right place because attorneys are, held to a higher standard when it comes to collecting funds. I don't know, but as soon as we find out how we can help, we will be certain to tell you.
Right. And I think the family has a lot of hip people down there that can do this. They just needed direction on how to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rescue Puppy says there's no marks on his hands. Well, he had gloves on. If this story is true, that he was boxing, and this was my other recommendation as an attorney, as a litigator, I hope they won't cremate him. And that is just my own personal opinion. I know it's obviously a personal decision for the family. But for purposes of, what we're talking about here, it would be best if it's not done. It's not my choice to tell anybody to do that or not, but, we need Levy on this. Thank you, Mama Smith. We have anything else we need to cover? Sean, any final thoughts?
I don't,
things you want to talk about?
Yeah. I mean, listen, it's early, right? I'm not going to stay quiet. I mean, when I see something, I call it for what it is.
You and me both.
Like the arm and John's, right? Like, I'll tell you, some people like to play it safe. Fine. That's good. I've got 35 years in this game. If it's a duck, it's a duck. And that's all I'm going to say about that. You know, what the duck, right?
Right.
That's
If it
that's
looks,
it.
yeah. What do you think will happen next,
unfortunately-
Sean?
What's that now?
C-Star says, what do you think will happen next, Sean? Will they continue with a cover-up, in your opinion? We're not saying that it's a cover-up
I
right now.
hope
We're
not.
just saying
I-
that we don't think that this happened during a training exercise,
hope not.
perhaps, maybe. These are our
Right.
opinions.
Yeah, that's true. And I just say, you know, the silence to me says a lot, right? The medical team, 5 minutes. Hi, I'm Dr. So-and-so. You know, unfortunately, Trooper Enrique Delgado-Garcia came into our office to get me out of hospital. We tried everything we could do. We couldn't do it. Further questions to the Mass State Police. Anything.
Yeah, why was there nothing?
If you didn't have access to the internet or papers, you would never know. Show your face. Come out. Be Mara Healy. Come out. Show your face. Colonel Mon. Show your face. The director of the academy. Show your face. What's it take? Of course, he was a great kid. But guess what? That kid's getting ready to be buried.
Oh.
And it was on your watch, Colonel Mon. Your watch, Mara Healy. Don't feign this off. The fish rots at the head. That's it.
Yeah. It's disgraceful. Jenny says, please get the info out that NDAs do not cover illegal activities. No, they do not.
No.
No, they do not. And
tell
I do
that
not
to
have
the young
confirmation.
kids, right? Tell that to these young kids sitting there in bunks right now, shaking. What do we do? What do we do? Well, you know something? Do the right thing. Do your job.
Yeah. And if you don't believe it, speak to an attorney.
That's right.
And I don't know, you know, this NDA, you know, there's a, you know, talk out there that they sign NDAs. Without seeing it, I'm not even going to call it an NDA because I
Right.
haven't seen a copy of it. So legally, I don't know what it is. If it
Right.
was a non-disclosure agreement, if it was a release of liability, if it was some sort of a waiver about if anything happens to you, it's not our fault. I don't
Right.
know. So I don't really legally, I'm a lawyer, don't even want to really talk about NDAs. But yeah, in general, an NDA does not typically protect criminal behavior.
Right.
But I'm not even saying that they absolutely did sign NDAs. We don't know. We just don't know. Thank you to the Goodmans and Erica for becoming new members, and Heather and Sean. I think you need to go call Ashley so you
Yeah.
can.
Right. How
Get on the
cool
show.
is that you got to be a member because it's completely random.
I know.
Right? It just is amazing.
I know.
Melanie, thank you so much. Like I said, we're here on crazy terms. You know, I wish we could do a feel-good story, but
Yeah,
I
I
guess
know.
that doesn't, you know, it just doesn't happen this way right now.
Pretty soon we will. Hang on a second. Let's just, if you just want to stay for this was a video posted by his family about 7 minutes ago. And
Oh,
since, you
good.
know, you're the one breaking the story, I think you should be here for this. So
Oh,
let's
good.
just
Thank
take a
you.
look at this. Hold on one second. It's a Justice for Enrique video. Thank you so much. Reality Check for sending this to me.
Oh,
You're a
beautiful.
sweetheart. I may get stricken for the music. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mute it. I think it's just music.
Sure.
And what we don't want to do is get stricken
Oh, I know how that
a
is.
copyright strike for music,
Right.
because that will completely take the stream off the air. And we
Right.
really want people to see this. So we're not going to play the music, but we're going to let the video play through. It's
Yeah.
3 minutes,
Good.
3.5 minutes.
Good call. Wow.
And this was posted by the family. As a Justice for Enrique. He was a runner. That's what one of his family members said. All he did was run.
Right. And he was
And
a
wanted-
Westfield State Owl, my alma mater.
Wow. That's your alma mater?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It wasn't Nick Garino, too, and a couple other people.
Perino.
Yeah.
Thanks, Della. Hydra needs to be gone. Thank you, Reality Check, for sending this to me. This is on YouTube. It was posted by the family. Who also says, I'm in contact with Josie. I'll help set up the GoFundMe where she'll be in charge.
Great.
Thank you. I mean, he's a very fit young man, right? I mean,
Right.
he could probably hold his own in a boxing match. I'm just saying.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
25 years old. It was his dream to become a Massachusetts state trooper. He was a victim's advocate in the Worcester County DA's office. So, he was probably, he's well known there and loved, and they will hopefully do a proper investigation into his death. And if there is anything criminal about it, I hope that they will prosecute.
Yeah. Looks like he graduated with honors from Westville State too, with that sash he was wearing.
Yeah.
Yeah. See that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what that means, but
yeah, it could be.
I didn't wear one of those.
I didn't either. Oh.
Yeah.
He was first in his class.
Yeah.
Says Kate Lewis. It's a beautiful tribute. I will I'll link it if you guys want to. I'll link it in the video description so you guys can go back and watch it again with the music. You can share it out.
So it looks like he was a cross-country runner also.
He definitely didn't fit the MSP mold in a good way, says Shock and Horror. He's got hair for one thing.
Yeah.
Michelle said, my husband's first words after learning about this, code red.
Exactly.
My eyes are sweating, says Jenny. Prayers up for his family. Enrique Delgado-Garcia, 25 years old.
Oh. We'll always remember you.
Ah. Sean, I'm verklempt. This is not, this is not something that we should be reporting on today.
Never. No. Never.
I'm going to drop the link to that video here in the comments, and I'll pin it for those of you who want to share it out. It's a beautiful tribute from the family. Thank you, Romy, for thanking me for covering this. And Sean, the Massachusetts State Police Academy has had major issues for a long time. They need to be held accountable.
Yeah.
Hashtag justice for Enrique. Thank you. Well, thank you, Sean, for coming to spend your evening with me and us and the chatters. And we love you. And we love that you're so brave that you, like me, like to speak out about injustices that we see out there. And we try to do so in a classy way without.
There's nothing wrong about having an opinion, especially with your background, my background. We've been around the corner. Yeah. We've seen it.
We have seen
it for the past 2.5, 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
We know the playbook now, right?
Yeah.
The question is now, who's going to be the hero this time? They had 2 bites of the apple before. Who's going to be the hero for poor Enrique this time?
Yes.
Melanie, thank you so much. Thank you to the chat. I see all the same famous people out there. They're beautiful. Hey, Melanie, I know yourself. I can't do this without them.
Yes, I know.
Motivation. They're my motivation. They're beautiful. They're incredible. And you are too there, Melanie. Let's not forget you now, okay?
Say that again. What did you say?
I said you are too. Let's not forget you.
Thank you. No, this community is amazing. They really are amazing. And, they believe in justice. And that's why we're here because.
Is that such an awful thing?
I don't think so.
Such an awful thing.
Right. Shouldn't it be about getting to the truth, not getting a conviction?
It's awful.
I don't know what's so hard to understand. Thank you, my love. Go talk to Ashley Banfield. And as soon as you know when you're going to be on.
Yeah, I will.
Tell me and I'll post it so everyone goes to watch you.
Thank you so much, Melanie. Good night, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Wasn't that great? Thank you guys for tuning in tonight. It's heartbreaking. Thank you, Classic Overthinker, who says, I just emailed you, man, that quit 1 year ago due to hazing. Yep. MSP is the Hydra, as in mythology. Thanks, Reality Check. Shelby say, what? We want transparency in Massachusetts. Corruption needs to end. I agree. I know you all agree. And that's why we're all here and we're all in this together. It sounds like a song from like High School Musical. I need to go catch up on the red carpet for the Emmys. So I will see you guys a couple of times tomorrow. For those of you who have been following cases with me. Teardot said, this attack on the trainee took place on the eve of the new class taking its oath. Was this an end of school pile-on and a form of bullying? I don't know. Justice for Enrique. Justice for Enrique. Tomorrow we are covering a number of different things. There's going to be a press conference on the Gilgo Beach murders. For some reason, Ray Tierney had this information. It broke on Friday, and he decided to hold it until tomorrow. There's going to be a press conference. We're going to be covering that, I believe, live at 10 a.m. This news has to do with the Asian doe that was found on Gilgo Beach all those years ago. So there's going to be some more information on that tomorrow. We are also going to cover the Ashley Benefield hearing at 1:30. And there may be also some coverage on Carly Gregg tomorrow. The trial is supposed to start tomorrow, so we're going to be here for all of it. Make sure you have notifications set so that you know, because I can't schedule it until I know what the court schedule is for tomorrow yet and who's going to be broadcasting it live. So thank you to my moderators for keeping this chat so classy and making it such a beautiful place for all of us to be, and a safe place for all of us to be. Free Karen Reed 2024. Thanks for the 10. Says, thanks for doing this tonight. You two together, a powerful combination. Much appreciated. Thank you for doing this tonight. You two together. Thank you. Did you see how he put a blazer on for me? Did you see that? Love it. I love it. He's the best. He really is, and he's so much of the stuff that he has talked about and covered has come to fruition. So gotta love a guy like that who's not afraid to speak out, right? Thanks, moderators. Thank you so much for coming in tonight and keeping it classy. And thank you so much, Reality Check. Josie states there's a legal fund. She will send me the link. I will send it to Mel and Sean. No GoFundMe is good. That's a much better, that is a much better way to do it, because it'll be an escrow. There won't be all of these crazy fees taken out of it. Thank you to Lisa for your Venmo, who says, thanks for covering Enrique. And thank you to Fairy Raven, my little fairy from Ireland, for sending me matcha lattes. You guys are amazing. And, hit the like, do all the YouTube-ish things that YouTube loves. Is there anybody live right now that I can redirect all of you guys to? Because, cupcake invasions are always appreciated. If you guys can tell me whether you know anybody who's live, I will look on my thing real quick. There was another assassination attempt today on Trump. I don't know anything about that because I'm here with you. Mazza? Nurse Kim at 6:30. What time is it? 6:18. Nurse Kim, you want to go to Nurse Kim? Is that where you want to go? All right. Tell Nurse Kim that this is a cupcake invasion. Tell her I said hi. And then when I redirect you, you will go on over to Nurse Kim and make her say Jennifer McCabe for me, because I love when she does that. Jennifer McCabe. Is that the name of her channel? Is the name of her channel Nurse Kim? Okay, hold on. Let's see, Nurse Kim. What is Nurse Kim's channel name? Oh, she doesn't start till 8:30? Oh, who's on now? You say Mazza's on now? Tell Mazza. I think you said Mazza is on now. Except that's not coming up either. Maybe he doesn't let people redirect to him? I don't know. Mazza's not coming up for me because you have to let people redirect to you in order to do it. So sorry, but if you guys want to go over, go on over. All right. Remember, as I always say to you guys to end every stream, remember, be cool, be kind, be classy. Really, it is so not hard. It is so not hard. Why do so many people on the cesspool of Twitter seem to not get it? It's a pretty easy concept. See you guys tomorrow. Peace out. Make sure you set your notifications or just keep checking back. Have a great rest of your evening. And let's hope Larry David wins an Emmy. He hasn't won one since like the 90s for Seinfeld, and I think he's due. So I love Larry David. Good night.